everyone, this is Kestrel Raptorial, and I'm going to be looking at another custom Yu-Gi-Oh deck. This one is going to be a custom-made Marik Ishtar deck. First version, I am actually not going to be using the structure deck Marik that came out a few years ago. I'm making my own Marik deck from scratch, based on the deck from Marik's first appearance in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City season. So we're going to be starting with the deck that Marik actually used for Slifer the Sky Dragon. I also put the Winged Dragon of Ra in there, so we're going to start with both Slifer and Ra, and work our way up to an only Ra themed deck. So to begin, let's take a look at what we got. Humanoid Slime, Wormdrake, and the fusion monster, Humanoid Wormdrake. Really not a fusion monster you want to be using, but Marik did use it, so we're going to include it in the first version. We'll get rid of it pretty quickly. One interesting thing about this, though, is that for a little while my siblings and I were designing our own cards. We were putting together cards, decks that we drew the art and wrote the descriptions for and effects for, combining creatures from Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Humanoid Wormdrake, we actually used the picture for a creature that was a fusion of Revival Gem, because it kind of looks like a, serpentine worm created from Revival Gem. I wonder if they're ever going to make the Egyptian god slime fusion monster. But so we use this artwork for a fusion between Revival Gem and actually Essence Sliver from Magic the Gathering. And Essence Sliver's effect, if you're familiar with Sliver decks, slivers are creatures that give abilities to all other slivers on the field. And this kind of looks like a sliver creature. The Essence Sliver has the effect of, I think, whenever a sliver deals damage, any sliver that you have on the field, you gain that many life. And so we called this Revival Essence Sliver. And its effect was the same as Essence Slivers, so whenever a sliver would deal damage, you gain that much life, plus Revival Gem's effect to revive itself. So that was pretty cool. I wish it actually had an ability like that. That'd make it worth using. Grand Tiki Elder, and Milkid the Four-Faced Beast. And either or both of these can be sacrificed to summon the Masked Beast Desgardius, which even Yummy Marik did use. It was first used by Mask of Darkness and Mask of Light. Hard to get out, but not that bad if you happen to pull it off. Machiora the Destructor. This is a monster that has long been on the banned list of building official Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, but of course you can add it into your own custom deck, to play just for fun with friends. So I got a rare one of those. Solemn Wishes. When Marik the Destructor is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can play a trap card from your hand. And playing this will easily help with summoning the Winged Dragon of Ra later in the game, because it gives you extra life points every time you draw a card. So you can soup up Ra. There's the Revival Gem. And Gem Defender. Now, Revival Gem does not actually work like it does in the anime. In order to revive it, and you can only do it during your standby phase after this monster was destroyed, you have to pay 1,000 life points to do so. So unless you've got good ways to replenish your life points, it is a difficult monster to keep that effect going. Has its uses, though. Life-absorbing machine. This is another one that's good to use with Marik the Destructor, and will help with giving both Ra attack points later on in the game, and in being able to use Revival Gem. Hellboemmer. Legendary Fiend. Visor Des and Bicer Shock. Two monsters based on torture devices. That certainly goes with Marik's theme. The Masked Beast. Another card you only saw used by the Mask of Darkness and Mask of Light, or in the English dub, Lumis and Umbra. Not a bad ritual monster, but ritual monsters are generally pretty hard to summon. Now we're going to get into some spell cards. Vengeful Bog Spirit. Kind of slows down the gameplay a bit. This is a continuous spell, but it's kind of like Marik's field spell. And I happen to like field spells, or cards that act like them. So, Nightmare Steel Cage. Marik used this to buy time while he summoned slime tokens for Slifer. Curse of the Masked Beast, to summon the Masked Beast ritual monster. Polymerization for humanoid Wormdrake. I still think the Revival Essence Sliver is an awesome idea, but that combines monsters from two very different card games. So, this next spell card is used in combination with Descardius, the Mask of Remnants. Black Pendant. Infinite cards for the Slifer the Sky Dragon strategy. Card of Safe Return. And here we go, Slifer the Sky Dragon. I have yet to get my hands on a tournament legal version. This, I believe, was the first one released. It's the Game Boy 1. So I believe we can actually set out the 5 cards that Marik used for the Slifer the Sky Dragon strategy. Yes, we can. The 5-card combination. Infinite cards, Card of Safe Return, Slifer the Sky Dragon, Revival Gem, and Gem Defender. And a monster destruction card, similar to Slifer's Lightning Blast, Lightning Vortex. Now some monsters again. Boganian. It's a whittling away life point effect. Not very strong on its own, though. Kisatai. This is a monster that Marik actually didn't use, but I'm not really sure why. It's a fiend monster that attaches itself to the monster that destroys it, and becomes an equip spell to that monster that replenishes your life points each turn by half that monster's attack points. I have no idea why Marik didn't use this, but it certainly fits with the Marik theme. Lord Poison, Lacunga. Now Marik has a few water monsters, and Lacunga, if you have water monsters in your graveyard, they can be removed from play to summon Lacunga tokens if you have this monster. So that's a way to summon monsters for tributing for an Egyptian god. Amoeba, which has a powerful effect if you can pull it off. If control of this monster shifts to your opponent takes 2,000 points of direct damage. And this is the card to use it with, Creature Swap. Give your opponent Amoeba and take one of their monsters. Well, your opponent gets to pick the monster they give you, but they still get hit with Amoeba. So now we're going to get into the Winged Dragon of Ra combinations, or at least more obvious. This one, this monster is one that was released a lot more recently than the others, from the Galactic Overlord set. Hierarchic Seal of the Sun Dragon Overlord. Now there's a different monster this goes with, not exactly the Winged Dragon of Ra, but I like to combine it with Trade-In. And here is the Winged Dragon of Ra, the Game Boy 3 version. And Marik had a field day with this combination, with the Winged Dragon of Ra and Monster Reborn. Oh boy, did he ever abuse that combination. Fissure, Monster Destruction card. Remove Trap, another one of Marik's signature spell cards, although it's actually not that useful. There are far, far better options, but he did use it quite a lot. So, Dark Hole, Coffin Cellar, Burn Effect, and Card of Last Will. So that is the Slifer and Ra Marik deck combination. Of course, Marik then lost Slifer the Sky Dragon to Yugi, so we will soon be introducing Slifer the Sky Dragon into the Yugi deck. And then he went on to only use the Winged Dragon of Ra, which when the Battle City series season first came out, I was super excited to see the Winged Dragon of Ra in action. Sadly, the legal version has pretty much the least useful of Ra's effects, but there are certainly a lot of combinations you can still use with it, and even more Ra cards have recently been released with the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere mode and Immortal Phoenix cards, so we'll be exploring those in the future, the whole Winged Dragon of Ra strategy. So when we get around to that, definitely return to see the Ra-themed Marik decks.